the Elden Ring 2, then I guess I didn't
Yeah.
really realize that's what it was. Looks insane.
Yeah, it looks sick.
So in Elden Ring 1, I'm gonna have to start calling that. You get the ghost horse, and in the trailer in this one, you get a ghost bird. I mean, sign me up. That looked cool.
Well, what's cool about this one, I thought was really cool, is it honestly kind of made me want to play this game a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Not Elden Ring, because that's not my style of game, but this one is a co-op game.
Oh yeah.
It's a Monster Hunter-esque game.
Mm-hmm.
You can have up to 3 players playing on it.
I did not realize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the original. I don't know. I guess the Dark Souls games kind of had multiplayer. It was semi-broken, and Elden Ring kind of had multiplayer, but it was pretty broken.
I didn't realize Elden Ring had any multiplayer at all.
It was basically just for like the boss fights. You could just summon friends to help you out with the boss fights. Yeah. And that's what a lot of the Dark Souls, but the Dark Souls games were less open world, so you could summon them for just like the dungeon portions up to the boss as well. Yeah. So it's cool that this one is going to have more seamless co-op.
It looked sick.
Yeah.
There was the clip of the fighting the 3-headed wolf.
Yeah,
that splits into 3 wolves.
It was a Cerberus, but then it split into 3.
And like one of them just like swings a chain around, like a fiery chain. You're like, ah.
The other one's like teleporting.
Yeah, it looked sick. It looked sick. And there was like a flying like dragon one.
So that's what made me like jaw drop. My wife was here watching it with me for the first time as well. I was like, that's the guy from Dark Souls 3, and I forgot his name and I had to go look it up in the comments. He's called the Nameless King. He's a boss in Dark Souls 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, they said Elden Ring was a totally different universe from Dark Souls 3. What are they doing? What's going on here? Like, that's the guy. And then later in the trailer, I had to look up. I didn't recognize her. It's she's called the Flame Keeper. She's like one of the main NPCs in Dark Souls 3. She's like chilling in the base, and she helps you level up or whatever. And she's in the trailer for the Elden Ring game. Like, what did they do? What are they doing? Like, they're merging the universes, and they're gonna do the story fantastically because they always do.
Yeah, one of the great game studios, I think.
FromSoft. It's big.
As long as they don't get bought by Sony, which is possible.
It's possible, but
did we talk about that?
I think you mentioned it, but maybe off air. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're already with some pretty big publishers with Bandai Namco that does a bunch of Japanese games. So.
Yeah, but once you get Big Mama Sony in your pants, get bent over and
yes. Okay, so next trailer. There's a couple. We had a couple of forequels that I wanted to highlight.
Go for it.
One I'm more excited for, and one I'm for.
I don't actually know which one is which in this situation.
I am more excited for The Witcher 4.
Okay.
Because they had a cinematic trailer. It's supposed to be 2025, but I'm always a little worried when they don't show any gameplay in a trailer. You're probably going to push this back. But it does look cool. It was at least... It reminded me of watching like the first season of the Netflix TV show.
Oh.
The Witcher, which was good. Don't watch any more of that.
Season 2 wasn't bad.
It was all right. You could tell it was kind of dipping in quality.
For sure. But it was still okay.
Yeah, it was bearable.
I think season 2 was good. Season 3 not good.
No, season 3 was bad. Season 2, I feel like didn't have enough Geralt.
Oh, for sure.
They started.
But I didn't.
Season 3 had like no Geralt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I didn't mind. Oh, we can talk about that too.
Oh yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Oh,
did you see his post?
I did see his post.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
Oh yeah. Big news. No, so The Witcher 4 had a cinematic trailer where it's Ciri, who is assumingly the main protagonist. It's pretty cool because it's forward in time a bit, and she was an awesome character in the Witcher 3 game. You had sequences where you got to play as her throughout the story, and she was like OP. Her sequences were so strong because she's got like Witcher training, so she's good with the sword, but then she also has the sorceress training.
Oh,
so she's like better at magic than the average Witcher.
Yeah.
Her segments were always really cool, and then she had weird blood that gave her special magic powers as well, so she could like dash around. She was super mobile in the combat in that game. Ton of fun. So in the trailer they showed off, she's fighting like a big hag monster thing. Looked pretty creepy, but it looked cool. Looked fun.
Yeah.
Excited to see more. I'm like, I actually didn't know that was coming, but they'll probably just like
push it back.
Yeah. I was going to say they'll probably, because they said they were kind of like done with Geralt. They'll probably just make him be like the wise old mentor character now. So I'm like, they could do that well. That would be fun. I'd play that.
Yeah, it feels like a good progression of the story.
Yeah, Ciri was like basically his adopted daughter, so it's cool that she's appears to be like in her 30s something now, and you could have Geralt be the wise mentor. I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. That probably will have a good story, I bet.
Yeah. So, I didn't see the trailer for it, but like I saw like a bunch of people online, and there was a bunch of people who were like trying to hate on it. Yeah, and then like everyone else was like, F off. Like, no. Like the overarching general consensus was like I feel like the internet's pretty fair about when it comes to like video game trailers.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, this looks sick or this looks stupid.
This looks so busy.
And like most of the time they're like aggregate's normally correct about that, right?
The plurality, but most of the time the majority is right.
Yeah. So. And this time there was like some outspoken people who were like, they just seemed like they wanted to hate.
Yeah.
Just because that's like the chic thing to do right now is to like hate on stupid video games. But like this video game, like I've seen pictures and like character model looks fine. She doesn't look like she's been leftified.
No. She looks fine. She looks
the cool. Agendified, you know.
The message.
Triple vaxxed and
it looked good.
It looked fine. So I'm interested to see.
The trailer, the little fight sequence looked fun. Again, it reminded me of the show. It looked cool. The classic Witcher theme of like, you fight monsters and men, but you can't tell which is which. They're like,
yeah.
Men are monsters because the Witcher universe is terrible and abysmal, and it's like they're constantly stuck in like dark ages. The dark ages of Europe with like all the evil mythology things being true, and so it's like it's just terrible.
I feel like the show, not to harp on a dead horse here, that was a malphorism.
Harp on a dead horse, anyway. Beat a dead horse.
Yeah, but like I just feel like it could have done so much better on the Witcher show as like a series.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. What's your other four-peat?
The four-peat, the forquel.
The forquel.
Borderlands 4 is they had some gameplay. And a little cinematic, but it was more or less showing off like character designs. There wasn't a whole lot of like story in the trailer or anything, or a whole lot of gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks okay. The art kind of honestly looks the same as Borderlands 3. Like they didn't really update too much. So it's probably the same engine. The character designs, most of them look kind of lackluster, and that's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like what they were known for in the past was the cool character design and sort of the wacky, cartoony art style. And they've got the 4 playable characters, right? The Vault Hunters that you always play as, and none of them really kind of caught my eye, at least. So I don't know. There's that. It might be all right. Progressively, the Borderlands games have gotten better in gunplay. The gameplay and the guns have felt better with every game.
Oh, was 3 good?
The game felt good, yeah.